And I just got off a bus. I'm in Park Morzan, and I'm behind schedule, feeling kind of tired, but let's see if I can go to where I want to go today. So today I'm starting out by trying to find Terminal Coca-Cola, the central bus terminal, which strangely enough I've never been there, or rather the central cluster of bus terminals, and let's see how that goes. And then once I get there, because it's several different terminals close to each other, I have to find the one that would have a bus to where I'm actually going. But let's wait till I get there to see how that goes. And I've been walking for a while. Should have gotten better directions, but that's often the case. But you do see these taxis there. That might mean we're close to a terminal. Guess we'll find out. Well, it certainly looks like we have some buses here, so I am close to something. Don't know if it's what I'm looking for, but I'm close to something. Atenas is where I'm looking for, but I basically got lucky to find this. Just walked around in circles until I found it, but let's go and buy a ticket. In case the subtext wasn't clear, you know, this bus terminal is not the most savory part of San Jose. Kind of dumb to be sitting here recording, speaking English, but part of the adventure. Got off that bus, going on the right, and this is Athens, and I've never been here before, so let's see what happens here. So, at least the claim is it has the best climate in the world, and actually I can't complain too much, although my tastes would be a little bit cooler, a little bit less humid, but probably very appealing to a lot of people. And it's not terribly hot, just normal Costa Rica hot. Here we have a central plaza, so I'm gonna go check out what's going on in the central plaza. Well, so far it seems like there's a lot going on, just a lot of people hanging out, and there is good weather, so a lot of people are out enjoying the sun. Nice light breeze, so yeah, it looks like a pretty groovy place. Kind of a weird comparison, but I'm getting kind of like Friday Harbor vibes. So this is the road that I came in on, and I'm just walking a little bit outside of town, and I only got a couple shots of that road, and maybe they weren't super clear, but like you could see there was a place where there's actually a one-lane bridge. There was a one-lane bridge, and like traffic had to alternate to cross it. And if you look at this is a pretty big town. It has a big tourist and resort element to it. And like I've said in a lot of places, a lot of times towns like this will try to preserve, but then it leads to problems. But I'm just walking around right now, so I don't have a lot of super articulate thoughts about that. But it was a little bit surprising to me how hard it was to get here for how important this town is. And I don't know how much longer I'm going to be walking outside of town. Probably going to turn around if for no other reason than ice cream. And right now it's a little bit after 3 p.m. I meant to get here earlier, but for the usual reasons, my own tardiness, bus schedules, the longer route, it's not until 3. So really, if I want to get back to San Jose by, while it's still light out, I only have like about an hour to walk around before I get on a bus back, which is what it is, as the kids say. Now this is interesting to me. I don't know if those are flowers or leaves. Those look like some type of flowers. But it does feel like it's autumn in February. And actually, because we are in the dry season, I don't know if it's super apparent, but like things are not as lush as they were in November, or especially in October. And you know, you can see somewhere the grass looks like it's graying out, and well, relatively so, thinning out a little bit. And also, like the Zampopos, which were wild in October, I don't see them quite as much. So this is my nice October day in February, I guess, September, something like that. It all makes sense to me. We've reached a little creek here. Looks like it's pretty well kept. And I'm gonna walk back up, because if I walk up, I have to walk down, walk up again. So I'm gonna turn around and walk up here back to the center of town. There's part of that dry grass I was just mentioning, or drier than normal. And to put ourselves in context, we are in Alajuela province in the canton of Atenas, Athens. And about 10 linear miles that way is San Ramon, where we went in December. It'll take a lot longer to get there. And only a few miles in that direction, if I had a clear vantage point, is actually the way to the freeway that connects San Jose to Punta Arenas, where we've been before. And I actually don't know why our bus didn't take that route, why it went through Alajuela, where we saw the airport. Could be that whatever route you have to take to get here from the freeway is even more difficult. It wouldn't surprise me. But here's the Pops. I haven't actually been to one yet. Let's see what it's like. Cost a little bit more than I thought it would. Trace meal, a little bit more than $5, but this is a real milkshake made with real ice cream, and it really hit the spot. I guess it is hotter here than it seemed at first. So I'm just sitting here on this veranda and enjoying my milkshake for a while. So now I'm just walking around in a nice ice cream trance. They also had a restroom there, so that took care of my two greatest needs in life. And now it looks like I'm exiting the commercial center and then going into a residential neighborhood such as it is. So I'll just walk around for a while, you know. No specific agenda right now. And the home styles and the neighborhood style here is a little bit closer to what I would expect in the U.S. as far as the spacing of the houses, the density, the division between residential and commercial districts. I don't know if that's because there's a lot of people, I believe there's a lot of retirees from the U.S. here, but that's true in a lot of Costa Rica, or if that's just because it's a smaller town and has a different history. Let's turn this way. Let's see what this way is. Whoever plants love will harvest happiness. That's a great lesson. So if we continue out of town to the south, we see we have hills there. And they don't look that big from here, but something tells me those hills might be more intensive than we thought. And on the other side of those hills is the highway, like I said, it goes back to San Jose. And if I was really dumb, I'd just like climb over those hills and go home that way. But I'm not dumb, not today. Too tired to be dumb. So I'm heading back in the center of town. This is a pretty small town. I don't know the population, but at least the commercial district I can walk across in 5 minutes, and the residential district not much more than that. So I was relaxing in the park for a while. I was watching some kids or young people play what looks to be four-square volleyball. Like the four-square concept of eliminating people, but with a volleyball that you're keeping up in the air. Don't know how that works, but it was interesting to watch. And as is often the case, although less often here than the U.S., I am under frame rule right now. So if I do miss the bus, it might be like up to an hour to wait again, and I might be getting back after dark, which normally wouldn't bother me. With the Terminal Coca-Cola, it does a little bit sketchy there, just saying. But I do have time where I'm going to go and I'm going to walk down. I'm going to take the same road I came in, but I'm going to take it in the other direction for a while. Then I'm going to come back here. I just want to maximize my time here. You know, it's a nice afternoon. It's cooling down a little bit. So I'm just going to go for a little walk. I don't know if this footage 100% captures it, but right now, cool afternoon. You can see those mountains in the distance. I can see why this is such a popular retirement destination. Still not totally sure about el mejor clima en el mundo, but I'm feeling pretty pleasant. This seems to continue on this way for a while in these pleasant little residential neighborhoods, but a lot of up and down. I've already done some walking today, so I will mentally save this for another day. I'm going to walk back to town, and then I'll just wait for a while, see when that bus comes, and think about Atenas some more. Observation as I make the epic climb up this hill, and it might be a important observation if you're going to come to Costa Rica from a temperate climate. Like in San Jose, at least now I can walk around all day and I might get normally tired, but only because I'm doing stuff. I only have to go a little bit, lower, a little bit lower in altitude. Like I said, this in San Ramon, and even in Alajuela and Heredia, and certainly here. Just like climbing up the hill, it's hot enough here that it's noticeably more tiring for me, and I have to watch that I don't get exhausted. And I mean, I guess that makes sense. You know, if I was in Montana right now, what the temperature would be? I don't either, but colder than it is here. Probably 3 Celsius, 40 Fahrenheit. And here it's probably high 70s, and the air is denser. There's a bus terminal, but I went and looked, and all those buses went to local places. So I actually don't know where I can get the bus back to San Jose, other than the stop I got off on. That seems to be a good place to start. But you would think that there would be like a labeled place, because that must be a pretty big destination. But as I've said, that can often be tricky here. Apparently we have one terminal there for local buses, and then right across the street, I think this is the long distance terminal. Okay, that makes sense. One final note, something I didn't get to see today because it's not directly in the city. There is actually a railroad museum near Athens, and the railroad line is that way, and I really wish that the railroad line was working past Alajuela so I could easily take a railroad here. Sometime in the future, I hope that will be true. You can take a railroad here on the way to Punta Arenas, but for now, we're taking the bus. The next bus doesn't leave until 5:30. It's 5 o'clock now. It'll probably start boarding 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And so that means I will be getting back to San Jose. It'll be dark by then. And at this point, I'm experienced enough that I'm not too worried about it. But in a lot of cases, you would want to avoid that if you were new to traveling. Getting ready to go. On time, and it will take a while to get back even under best conditions. As you can see here, we're going by the town plaza, and the party is still going on. I think the party all is going on in Atenas, as well as construction apparently. I didn't even notice that when I went by. Must have been on the other side of the street. There's also a yoga collective in English that is now open, also in English. That kind of tells you a little bit about the composition of Atenas. Also, the bus is a lot less crowded than right here. On the outbound trip, it was pretty much packed with standing people. Here, there's a lot of free seats still. Look at that view. I actually took a nap. I woke up and it's dark in Alajuela, and it's also raining. And this is right across from the airport, and we're merging on. And you can see, well, we're moving fast, but the rest of the traffic is pretty clogged out. pulling into the station right here, and for obvious reasons, I'm going to be putting down my camera and exiting this area. And I'm not saying that for, you know, calumnize this area, just saying like, yeah, not a place where I want to hang out. Okay, so I'm jumping off now. So I found a more busy street. This is the Central Avenue, I believe. So a little bit more easy here, although I'm still being kind of dumb and conspicuous. And right now I'm just trying to walk to where I can get the bus, the Sabania bus. There's a train going by. I think there's more cars than usual. Or maybe they were just doubled. So if you're watching this from the future in the year 2024, yeah, I couldn't just take a train from Atenas back to Universidad de Costa Rica. Pity, isn't it? Enjoy your trains, future Costa Ricans and people in Costa Rica. Anyway, today I saw a nice little rural town, or, you know, I would categorize it as a rural town. As I like to do, I did show the journey to and from there. I don't always show the entire journey, but I showed enough of it that when we talk about these cute little towns, they're not just places you magically appear in and everything is perfect. You know, it is take a trip to get there, including, you know, waiting, being in slow traffic, the area around the bus terminal. And that's just to show the complete picture, or a more complete picture. So every time I like to show a little bit more, and hope you liked today's trip. And there will be some more in the future, not too distant future.